unhinged creators. I feel like that shouldn't really be a shock to anyone. With how long YouTube has been around and how many people upload to it on a daily basis, there's bound to be a dark side. A dark side we'll be exploring today. So get ready to hear the stories behind some of the worst controversies on YouTube and the inmates still serving time in prison. And we're starting off our list with the very recent case of Ruby Frank, who ran the family vlog style YouTube channel 8 Passengers. Well, she and her business partner Jody Hildebrandt are facing 4 counts to be served consecutively, each being 1 to 15 years long, so she could be in prison for up to 60 years. And this is because she was found to have been harming her own offspring. Sorry I have to word that in such a weird way, but YouTube guidelines are pretty strict about this sort of thing. So all this stuff started coming to light when one of Ruby Frank's young ones escaped from Hildebrandt's house through a window and ran to a neighbor for help. He'd been tied up with duct tape and looked emaciated. And then, as if this wasn't already bad enough, all this other stuff started coming out about how other members of the family were tormented by Ruby and Jody. It's an incredibly unsettling story, especially because through this YouTube channel, the family
we had to see what the hell was going on, chat.
Happy outward appearance, at least for the most part. There were hints at some odd stuff going on. In one video, Ruby says she'd withhold food as punishment, remove their beds as
Yeah, you hold with that, bro. Let's withhold food from your ass. Let's not give your ass a bed. Well, you gonna get some square meals. The bed, a comfortable ass bed, like, I mean, I got upstairs. She ain't sleeping on that. Thin ass mattress, gang. Thin ass mattress. She fucking cooked. Fucking don't feed her ass. Give her ass 1 meal every 2 months.
punishment. Kind of sus, but not criminal necessarily. But as soon as the neighbors saw her son in the state he was in, they immediately called the cops. Really goes to show that we just don't know what goes on behind closed doors sometimes. Next up, we have Trevor Daniel Jacob, who just started his 6-month prison sentence at the end of January. This case just perfectly encapsulates everything wrong with internet culture these days. It's beautiful. The things people will do for attention online is super depressing, honestly. So this guy would do videos about skydiving, aviation, and snowboarding. In November of 2021, he flew his vintage aircraft, a Taylor Craft BL-65.
Oh yeah, I think I heard about this.
In memory of a friend. And during the flight, the engine failed. Jacob parachuted to the ground, escaping with minor injuries. He later posted a video on YouTube about a month later entitled "I Crashed My Plane," which gained 1.7.
Yo, yeah, I remember this. And I was just listening to this on the radio. I don't know. I want to say about a week ago on my way home from work. And they was talking about this shit. But I remember that this dude was stupid. All for publicity, bro. You goofy. Now you in jail. You dumbass.
Million views before being taken down. The aviation community were a little suspicious about Jacob's video. It didn't show standard aviation emergency procedures, and some believed the crash was a deliberate stunt for publicity. Jacob reported the crash to the National Transportation Safety Board and the Federal Aviation Administration, but couldn't recall the crash site's location. In April of 2022, the FAA determined that Jacob intentionally abandoned the aircraft, filmed the crash. The FAA
in the air.
Pilot certificate.
You dummy, bro.
In May of 2023, Jacob pleaded guilty to a felony charge of obstructing a federal investigation, admitting he lied to investigators and intentionally crashed the plane for notoriety and financial gain.
Bro, y'all know how much those little Cessna planes cost, right? He must be making a lot. He must have been cracking a lot of that money on the YouTube side, bro. I don't give a fuck how much of that money I'm making, bro. I'm not about to crash no Cessna, bro. Hell no, he goofy.
In In December of 2023, he was sentenced to 6 months in prison, scheduled to begin on January 29th of 2024. Next up, we have the incredibly disturbing case of Trey Eric Sessler, aka Mr. Anime. This guy had a YouTube channel called LensCap Productions, where he mostly talked about anime, but he was also a big fan of firearms and started implementing them into his videos as well. Now, at some point, something started changing in Sessler's mind. He started becoming more and more obsessed with causing harm on a large
this
scale.
dude look
He
fucking
decided he wanted to
weird
enact
as
a
hell.
Columbine level of violence. Luckily, he was arrested before he could carry out his full plan, but his own family weren't so lucky. On March 20th, 2012, a relative of the Sesslers called for a welfare check on the family when she hadn't heard from them. The police arrived at the Sesslers' home in Waller, Texas, and there was no answer at the door. They peeked through the window.
Damn, that shit crazy, chat. This fool was trying to go pull off a Columbine shooting. Got caught, but didn't get caught quick enough because he killed his own damn family. Man, that shit crazy as hell.
Spotting a body. They kicked down the door, finding the remains of the entire family, all except for Mr. Anime. He was arrested and eventually pled guilty, receiving a life sentence without the possibility of parole. All right, so this next one is a bit different.
Yeah, of course. They're gonna give him a life sentence without the possibility of parole. He in jail forever. And they gonna be making him put Kool-Aid on his lips too. Watch. He gonna come across the Fleetwood Johnson in them boy.
Turned inmates, these are inmates turned YouTubers, or at least getting some recognition on social media. So there's this interesting trend going on in prisons in the UK primarily, where inmates are somehow getting their hands on phones and then filming videos from within the prison. And some of them have been getting pretty big on social media. Prison Talk has become a pretty popular tag on TikTok, and there are YouTube channels full of inmates interviewing other inmates about their crimes, their daily life.
What the fuck was that
shit? One interview features a guy named Thomas Frazier serving 21 years in the slammer for lighting someone on fire and blinding a guy with a bottle. Next up, we have Stanislav Reshetnikov. So this guy was a Russian streamer going by the name of Reflay. He was sentenced to 6 years in a strict penal colony in 2021 for taking the life of his girlfriend, Valentina Grigorieva, live on stream while viewers paid for him to verbally and physically torment her. This all culminated in Reshetnikov.
This dude is a goofy. He was asking to go to jail. He let his subscribers. They gave this thing. Hold on, bro. They didn't say what I think they just said, bro. Hold on. We gotta go back, bro. We gotta go back. I can't believe that shit.
Valentina Grigorieva, live on stream while viewers paid for him to verbally and physically.
So this dude, they was paying his ass probably big money for him to harm his girlfriend, and he did it, and he killed her. Man, what the fucking type of time people be on, bro? Man, fuck that money, bro. You goofy, bro.
Tormentor. This all culminated in Reshetnikov locking her outside without any clothing in the freezing cold. At one point in the stream, he went out to bring her back inside when he started panicking, telling viewers that she didn't have a pulse. Now, at first, it was thought Valentina died of hypothermia, but it was soon found that she'd suffered from craniocerebral trauma. She'd been hit on the head multiple times by this sicko, and Reshetnikov's mom claimed that he, quote, wouldn't hurt a kitten and was very kind. Really
yeah, bullshit. That lady is dumb. She's blind. That shit was on CCTV, and the people that paid him to do that, they goofy ass should be found, took the trial, and fucking charged, bro. That's some bullshit, bro. What the fuck's wrong with people, gang?
Cases like this, when parents will say stuff like that, like sometimes I think they should just be thrown in prison along with them, you know? Next on the list is
For
Bill
real.
Omar Carrasquillo, who went by the name Ami and a Hellcat on YouTube. So this guy gained fame for
Oh yeah, this
showcasing his
dude. I think I seen this dude. I think this dude was like a fucking scammer or some shit, bro.
lavish lifestyle. He had tons of
I think
jewelry,
I remember
nice
this dude.
home, and a big collection of cars, which he'd often show off on his
My
YouTube
bad,
channel.
yeah.
He was one of those follow me and learn to get just as rich and successful as me types of influencers. But in 2023, it was found that he'd been involved in a cable television piracy scheme. Ami and a Hellcat, along with partners Jesse Gonzalez and Michael Barron, started a business in 2016 offering discounted access to cable subscriptions, including premium channels like HBO.
And they was giving
Purchased
them fucking. They was, bro. I bet you they was just climbing up to the damn line. Cause in certain places though, like here, you can't really do that shit here where I live at, bro. Like they got that shit up on the power pole. But in Cali, bro, they would have that shit like literally. They had that shit like literally right outside my window. Well, I can't really say not here, not in this city I'm in, but in the other city, yeah. You know what I mean? You can do that shit. Just don't get your ass caught. But man, they probably was just hooking that shit up, bro, and doing some goofy shit.
coders from China to remove copyright protections from legitimate subscriptions, enabling them to stream content online at a lower cost. The service grew rapidly, reaching 100,000 subscribers and generating $34 million in revenue before being shut down in 2019. In November of 2019, the FBI raided Ami's home. His cars were seized, along with his jewelry and bank funds. He was later indicted in September of 2021 on 62 counts.
Oh, not the
including
Maybach.
copyright infringement and wire fraud, facing a potential 514 years in
Holy
federal prison.
shit.
Ami eventually pleaded guilty in February of 2022. On March 8th, 2023, he was sentenced to 5.5 years in prison and fined $30 million for conspiracy, copyright infringement, fraud, money laundering, and tax
Damn.
evasion. All his nice stuff was then auctioned off. Kind of crazy though, if you mess with the government's money, like they will throw you in prison like that.
Yeah, and they gonna
Look at
fucking
that last
seize
guy. I know it was
everything.
in Russia, but still, you went 6 years for like killing your girlfriend. That's nuts.
Yeah, that's
Next on our list.
6 years for killing your girlfriend is crazy, bro. For real. That shit is crazy, bro. See, but they're in a different country. We do that shit here, bro. Man, they might give us the needle. Give our ass the needle, bro. Or, well, we ain't never gonna
This is
see
Richard
light
Lamar
again.
Hawk, aka Silento. Silento is a rapper most famous for that song "Watch Me Whip," which came out 9 years ago now, which is nuts.
Yeah, I remember
the
that.
music video went up on his YouTube channel and now sits at just under 2 billion views. Suffice to say,
Ain't that-
he got pretty famous. But around 2020, he started running into some problems with the law. He was arrested a few times, once for a domestic disturbance, once for entering a stranger's home.
Yeah, he probably went crazy. After his people got killed, got his little ass smoked in Compton. I mean, not in Compton, in Inglewood. Wiped his nose.
Apparently looking for his girlfriend with a hatchet, and then again for reckless driving. But it was in 2021 when he was arrested for something truly disturbing. He'd taken the life of his own cousin with a firearm. He was arrested.
Oh
and remained
shit! See, bro, I fucking forgot about that shit, bro. That's the same fucking person I was talking about the whole time. That whole shit, bro. I thought fucking somebody did a drive-by on their ass, bro. He popped his own people.
in jail until a trial date
That's what-
is set. Next on our list, we have Austin Jones. This guy was a musician posting a cappella covers of songs on his YouTube channel, which has now been
I might be
terminated.
wrong though, chat. Don't quote me on that. That dude that I'm talking about might have got killed, and this dude might have killed his cousin. I don't know, or they could be the same two people. But I know one of the dudes that did that song got his little ass aired out in fucking Inglewood though.
Because this guy is a total creep. It all started when one of his young female fans started a petition to have him removed from the upcoming lineup of Van's Warped Tour where he was going to be performing. It recorded some webcam conversations that they had together. Things really blew up though when a search warrant of his home was signed off on. It was found that Jones had been persuading certain fans of his to produce adult content for him. Fans that had no place conversing, let alone making adult content at all, especially for a guy in his then mid-20s. Yeah, do the math. This guy belongs exactly where he is. In 2019, he was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Next on the list is Nassim Aghdam. Now, that
What
name
the
may
fuck
not
is
be all
that?
that familiar to you, but you may have heard of an incident in 2018 where the YouTube headquarters was attacked by a woman with a firearm. Well, that woman was Nassim.
Chat, I couldn't tell if that was a actual woman or, you know what I mean? Yeah.
She had a few channels on YouTube where she posted fitness videos, vegan propaganda, and catchy songs. Her content was unique. Well, in 2018, things went from unique to dark when she purchased a 9mm right around the time that she was complaining about YouTube demonetizing her videos and suppressing them so they wouldn't get views. She began hating YouTube, thinking they were actively working against her, and she ventured out to YouTube's headquarters. At the same time, her family phoned the police, not knowing where she went and being unable to contact her. Police found Nassim on April 2nd, sleeping in her car in a Walmart parking lot. They didn't think she was a threat, so she wasn't taken into custody. But then in the afternoon of April 3rd, Nassim entered the YouTube offices and began opening fire. 3 people were injured,
Damn.
but luckily no one died. Actually, one of the victims didn't even get injured from the firearm. She just hurt her ankle as she was running away. Police arrived at the scene to find Nassim had taken her own life. And finally, we have Ian McGuire, who ran a
Jeez
YouTube channel
Louise.
called Hate the State. This story is very bizarre. So Ian met this elderly woman at a farmer's market, and for some reason, he started harassing and stalking her, and it went on and on. Some of his subscribers even got involved at one point. He started making all these wild claims that she was a predator and a Third Reich supporter. But things got completely out of hand when they started mailing things to this woman's address. Stuff like adult toys, fecal matter. At one point, this poor woman even received a dead cat, and she was constantly getting phone calls with threats to her and her family. This had gone on for close to 2 years. Finally, though,
That shit
in 2021,
crazy.
Ian McGuire and one of his most active fans and co-conspirators, Bretton Osborne, were arrested, with McGuire receiving a 5-year prison sentence. All
Damn.
that said, I've been your host,
That
James,
shit
and I'll
crazy.
yes, you specifically in the next video.
Boy, what the hell is them? Boy, they going crazy as hell, boy. Killing his girlfriend, bro. Only got 6 years. That shit's crazy. Man, you kill anybody over here, they gonna hang your ass. Talking about you ain't put you out to the pasture. Man, y'all leave y'all thoughts in the comment section, man. I'll catch y'all on the next one.